It should see it there.
Uzuri is taking over, so see you guys in an hour.
Yes, I see one. Okay. What?
I said you. So I'll see you guys.
All right, guys, we're live.
I'm the only one who's got a film.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Paranormal Chatter. I am Angelina. This is Justin and Christina. You guys all know us from Bad to the Bone Paranormal. This is our very first podcast. We are used to being on them, but we are not used to hosting them. So sit back, enjoy, grab some strong liquor because this is going to be fun. Today we have our very first special guest. They're special to me. I know they're special to Christina. One day they'll be special to our new team member, Justin. Oldham County Paranormal out of Louisville, Kentucky. How are you guys?
Doing great.
Good.
Good. Can Shannon, you're the team founder, right?
I am.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about Oldham County Paranormal Researchers and how it got started and how you got started in the field?
Yeah, so I got started in the field. Had a friend that had their own paranormal team, and I won a raffle ticket to be able to investigate with them one night. So we had a wonderful investigation. They said a lot of stuff happened around me, which, yes, it absolutely did. Said that I did wonderful and asked if I wanted to be on their team. So, of course, I joined the team. Things went south. Started another team with another group of girls. That went south. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it myself. I'm just going to have my own paranormal team. So 4 years ago, I founded Oldham County Paranormal, named after the county that is named after my family, and invited several girls to join me.
Wow, so you're like royalty?
Yeah, I am. I'm the shit.
We know that. So what was it that got you saying, I'm going to start a team and I'm going to go and I'm going to find out about what it's like to be dead? What's life after death like? What pushed you to that limit?
I guess really just because I had wonderful experiences with the other teams that I was on. Just because you don't get along in a group of other people doesn't mean you stop doing, what you believe in and, what you want to learn more about. So, to not have that, it's just best to do things on your own sometimes, and find people that are more compatible with you than if you just join another group. But, pretty much just to be able to continue researching the paranormal because it's 100% true. So, and it's my passion and it's my hobby. And I mean, it's pretty much all I do. I work in ghost hunt.
That's all I've known you to do since I've known you for 5 years.
Yeah.
For a lot of
people, for 8.
Exactly 8 years you've been doing it. I'm going on 5. For a lot of people who know out there, I used to live at Post Town Elementary, and that's where I met Shannon and learned some different ways to do EVPs. I learned the real-time EVPs and some different things from her investigating. So if you guys ever have a chance, look up Oldham County Paranormal, hit them up, go investigate with them. They're a great team. How did you pick your team members?
Well, I think they kind of picked me, really, because I mean, honestly, Susan, she was my first member. Susan is crazy. No, I said it's crazy, not she's crazy, but she is crazy. It's crazy. She grew up with my family. She's friends with my Uncle Eugene. So I really don't know if he was talking about, hey, my crazy ass niece does paranormal. And she's like, oh, well, I'm crazy too. I want to do it too. And then she just kind of reached out to me. Pretty much with that. Sammy Joe, she was my second gal. We met at Waverly Hills. Wasn't that our first? Yeah, that was our first investigation. We were filming for a paranormal journey into the unknown with Gavin and Paula.
Yep. I love them.
Yeah. And Sammy's a damn ghost magnet. I mean, it's like, wow, why the hell would I not want this girl on my team? And I mean, just her personality, y'all know me. So, if I don't like you, I just don't like you. I don't deal with you. If I like you, I love you. I'm going to draw you in. Well, I mean, it was like looking at my damn twin. I'm like, who is this girl? So pretty much, I just reached out to her and, asked if she was looking. Wasn't you with another team or something? Or
no, I wasn't with the team.
You wasn't, no. So, I picked her up, and then here come Miss Jill. Jill, where was the first place we met you though, Jill?
I met you at Poasttown Elementary.
Yep.
I was there with Rat and Chris, Joel, and Ruben, and he introduced me to you.
Yeah.
And then we went on a couple investigations together over the years, and
yeah, we include the team that she was on with Joe Myers and Chris Houston and Jill. We include them in a lot of our investigations. When you have that group of people that are real and not faking shit or
Have a connection.
drama, you keep your little circle tight, so we kept them tight. Jill we love Jill, and it was like, as everybody can tell, we're an all-female team, and it just come up that a team was going to split, her team was going to split, and boom, we stole Jill. And I mean, it was just flat out amazing. And Susan and I were in a hotel room one night, and we were like, why don't we ask Jill to come be on our team? And we're sitting there and we're just so damn excited about it, and then we're trying to get in touch with Sammy, and we're like, damn it, Sammy, we need to talk to you, about this. So it was actually an executive decision, and we did it without Sammy. And I haven't apologized to you about that yet, though. But
Hey,
I mean,
it's worth it. It's so worth it. Me and Mom are 100% in agreement.
yes. And Mom, there's Mom. So we have a fifth team member. She was actually the fourth, Jill's the fifth, but Penny is Sammy's mom. She goes with us a lot. She is so quiet, which none of us are. So we just don't know what to do with that. But I mean, she's a wonderful team member. So I love every one of them, and I would not trade one of them out for the world.
Awesome. So before I go on, the guys are going to ask questions. Let's talk about Leslie and how important Leslie was to you, especially.
So yes, Leslie was my best friend since second grade. She was diagnosed. Well, no, so 19 years ago, she actually was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and beat it for the first round. 3-4 years ago, she was re-diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and it actually turned into bone cancer and all of that. So unfortunately, she passed away January 27th of last year.
So do you think that you handled, I know her death was hard for you. We all know how hard it was for you. Do you think being in a paranormal field helped you cope a little bit better with that?
No, honestly.
Great.
Me being a paranormal investigator, you would think that I would be like, come on, come talk to me. I want to see you. I don't, I don't. I will talk to anybody else. I'll talk to anybody's mama, anybody's grandmama, but, I don't want to talk to mine. And I know it's kind of weird, to say that, but honestly, I think if any of them did come to me, including Leslie, I think it would scare me. I really do. And I don't know why. And I just think just because of the emotional attachment of it that I don't know. I can't explain, but I don't.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with emotional attachment because I wonder that about when my mom dies. Am I going to go and seek her the way I seek spirits out when we're investigating? And I just, no way in hell.
You're gonna find out that you don't, and I don't know. It's probably for the best that you don't. I mean, that's just kind of the way I feel about it. I don't know, but yes, she was a wonderful friend, my absolute best friend.
Well, this podcast we're going to go ahead and dedicate to Leslie. So I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Thank you.
So I'm going to be a little weird, and no one's probably ever asked this question on a podcast. But what color socks are you wearing? That's my first question.
I don't have no socks on. I just took them off.
Okay, see,
Me neither.
Okay, see. And what about you?
Nope, barefooted.
Yeah,
Barefoot.
that's the way to go.
Kentucky barefooted.
Right.
Yeah, we're not pregnant.
You bunch of cornbread. I just noticed. Hey, Fluffy Sushi Cat, thanks for tuning in. Hey, V Team Paranormal, we're watching the comments and stuff here. But I just noticed something and I forgot what I was going to say, y'all. So, do that. So, I have a question.
Oh, so I just wanted to know, I guess, because, I know you girls with Shannon and Susan. Jill, I've met you once. I think you're a lovely person. I can't wait to meet you, Sammy. So I know you guys go to facilities and stuff and investigate. So I don't think I've ever asked this, but do you guys do home investigations?
We have.
Okay.
We don't make a habit of it, but we have.
So, Jill, I saw you shake your head. Do you want to elaborate? Looks like we've maybe been doing it a little more than they have.
I have a lot of friends who come to me and say, "Hey, I've got something weird going on. Would you come check it out?" And I'll go to their house and check it out. We have a friend who has a restaurant that he just got, and he's seen something, and he's talked about us coming in there to check it out to see if we find anything. So, yeah, just mostly friends coming to me with things because they feel comfortable talking to me about it once they know I'm into the stuff. So,
do you guys ever fear bringing something bad out at someone's home? Has it ever happened to any of you?
You mean bringing it home with us?
No, bringing. A lot of people hit us up and ask us, "Can you come investigate my house?" And I'll ask, "Is it bothering you? Is it being me?" No. Then I would say, leave it alone. Don't go irritate it. But there's some people that are just like, I'm going to go and irritate it because that's just what I'm going to do. And then they bring something worse out than what's already in the house.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced that?
That's
Does anyone share an experience?
The one reason we went to one house is because it was bothering the children.
Yeah.
And we wanted to help the children out.
Yeah.
That was, the reasoning that we went.
And we got rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was,
a totally different experience for the kids afterwards than what it was before.
And animals in the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we witnessed the animals ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
When we chased, because we had set them out in cages or in their cage boxes out on the porch while we were saging, and that's the doorway that we saged out of. And when we chased it out, those cats went crazy.
They flipped out.
Wow.
Like something went right past them.
Mm-hmm.
And they still to this day.
You could tell them watching something go by.
Wow.
Yeah. And they still to
weird.
this day talk about that the gate outside still sits there and bangs back and forth.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay, so then my next question would be, what makes paranormal investigating at
Ruh-roh.
We lost them.
It's been popping in and out on my end real bad.
We totally lost. We're still live though.
Yeah, we are.
They're not live.
Hi, Sammy.
Sorry, guys. like all this talking about the paranormal. I had like 10 Google pages that opened up.
Well,
So my question is what makes paranormal investigating at a facility different than doing a home investigation? I'm only asking because I don't really know much about home investigation, so it's kind of interesting to know that you guys actually have done that before, because I never knew that.
Bad to the Bone is too scared to the bone for that.
I mean, I think the biggest difference is honestly the amount of spirits. I mean, you go into, one house and you're dealing with one, possibly, usually, possibly a couple. But when you go to your bigger places, War Memorial Hospital, Waverly Hills, you're dealing with multiple, and you have to know how to be prepared to deal with multiple, stuff sometimes coming at you at all angles,
Right.
I think another difference though that we see maybe is because with locations that you go to that are big like that, some of the history. You've heard history, or you've known the building, or you've seen the building. In some of these homes you go to, you don't know anything about them. You don't know who lived there. You don't know what was there before that. You don't know any of that information.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, in facilities you're dealing with like when we go to Octagon Hall, we're dealing with how many thousands of soldiers that died
Yes.
on that property. So it almost kind of makes me. I'm sitting here thinking maybe we should just start doing home investigations, because that's a lot more light than these facilities that we go to.
Well, sometimes, I mean, one of
breaking
the
up real bad.
one of the scariest investigations I ever been on has been in Louisville in a new development. And I'm not gonna lie, it scared the teetotal hell out of me. And it was something very, very evil. And I mean, that was like the first and the absolute last time, that I ever dealt with anything in that freaking manner. And like I said, it was a brand new development. So, you can do as much research as you want to, on the building, but damn it, that wasn't the building. That was the land,
Right.
something else. And I mean, it was just flat out evil.
Wow. That was going to be my next question. What is the scariest place you've ever been? Like that you've never been scared anywhere else?
Let's ask all of them that.
Yeah.
Susan.
Superior.
Me?
Yeah.
Jill, you might have to go out and come back in.
Yeah.
I guess it would be also my favorite location because I've lost at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I left a period of time there that I'll never get back, and that kind of freaks me out a little bit. It's like,
I want to know more.
We lost Jill, but we got her back. So, Sammy, what about you?
Yeah, we were doing a session, and I was leaned up against the corner, like where a hallway teed. I was like leaned up in the corner, so both hallways came up kind of behind me. Mm-hmm. And I felt something come up from behind me. And from that period until Sammy Joe came over and physically got a hold of me and said, Susan.
Like shook her.
Wow.
I don't remember anything that happened in that. And they were trying to get my attention, and and I was just blank.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Scary.
It's scary, but amazing at the same time.
Yeah. So.
I don't want it to happen, but it happened again. Sammy, what's your favorite place, and give us a story behind that favorite place?
Even though it was probably one of the scariest moments of my life, I have to say Octagon Hall. Shannon got to see it. There was a book. I was totally, I think Jill and Susan were both there. Yes. All of us were. I was just engrossed in this book that we found, and there was just something about it. Well, we decided to do an experiment, and I was reading it in the parlor of Octagon Hall, and I looked up, and nobody that was there was there. Like Chris was there, Joel was there, but those people weren't there. I couldn't see them. It was a completely different time period. It was a completely different atmosphere. I could smell like the cigar smoke. The piano was in a different spot. It
Yeah.
it just was a completely different experience, and that was the first time I'd ever experienced anything like that. Jill actually took me outside, and they ended up hiding the book from me, and I went right to it, not knowing anything about it, where they hid it, where it was.
You told me
ended up,
drawing you.
it was just
Wow.
something in it like pulled to me, and I just can't explain it. But I mean, out of everything that I've experienced, that's been my favorite, just because it was a opportunity and a experience all in the same, to be able to say, hey, this is something that I've experienced, if anybody else has, or to kind of help anybody like that through it. So
Absolutely. I totally understand you, especially with Octagon Hall. I went there and I got fixated. And when you get fixated, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, you're fixated, but it's hard to keep going forward. I mean, it's hard to not keep going forward and get more fixated. So I understand your fear and everything like that. And before we ask Jill what her favorite place is, speaking of Octagon Hall, we went to Octagon Hall in 2021, right?
Yes.
2021.
Yeah.
OCPR, and we got some pretty good evidence that night. That night was, I think, the moment we crossed the threshold in Octagon Hall, it was nonstop until we left the following. I think we stayed 16 hours. It was, the sun came up and we were gone, but we captured some pretty amazing evidence that we want to show everybody. The first one I'm going to show you all up in, was it Mary Elizabeth's room, Shannon? Because that was our first time there.
Mary Elizabeth's room. Mhm.
Okay, and we were all up there, and Shannon had set up some balls, I think 3 balls, and she had an experience there one time before with some balls moving, right?
Well, it was when we walked in the room, when you
That
were
night.
with us. You guys were downstairs, but when we first walked in Mary Elizabeth's room, there was a green ball on the floor, and the son of a bitch went rolling across and underneath the bed. And it wasn't as fast as like if a ball was at an angle or anything like that. It was being nudged over there and nudged underneath the bed. So that's why I got all 4 balls and put them together.
Right. Okay. Because I was like, I forgot how it happened, but we got footage, everybody, of a spirit. We don't know if it's Mary Elizabeth. It could be. We're not sure. But it was something other than us or the floors moving this ball. We have it from 2 different angles. So I'm going to go ahead and play that real quick if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
Oh. Keep on pushing it. Good job. That is freaking. There it goes. Crazy, y'all. Look at it. Good job. Good job.
Wow.
Good job. Thank you so much. So red's your favorite color ball. Oh my God, y'all.
Oh, that was incredible. Did you push it over to the orange one because you couldn't make your mind up?
Can you push the ball back over where it was? It almost seems like it's.
That was one of the most amazing things I've seen in the 5 years that I've been investigating. I've never seen anything move in front of my face. And I'm so glad I was with you guys, because I was freaking out inside.
I was too. I mean, y'all could see me. I'm like, I think that I was doing cussing before when I first saw it start budging. I think I was cussing a lot in between there because I couldn't believe what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I think I was thinking, don't move your feet. It better not roll towards you. Will she stop asking it to move the ball? We've seen it move like an inch. We're good. Like, investigating with you is always fun and sometimes scary, but
We even stomped around the floor around the balls
Yeah.
to make sure it wouldn't move them, and we didn't get really any rolling movement out of them.
Right. I remember that. I just jumped. Let me jump because I'm the biggest.
Are you guys all having a problem with connection, or is it just me?
Oh, we hear you just fine, Jill.
Yeah, I'm not having any connection issues.
You're good.
Everything I'm hearing is digitized.
Mm-mm.
Oh, sorry.
Can you hear us?
We can see you.
Yeah, she's not frozen anymore.
She's good. Yeah. All right. So I just got one more video to show from Octagon Hall, and then we want to talk to Jill. Dowsing rods and me have never been a go. I never believed in them because I always think people are moving their hands, or people shake too much, or go left and you're moving it. So I'm always debating that until I met Susan. And Susan decided to blindfold my team members. Well, Christina and then another friend that was with us. And I started believing in dowsing rods. Like, I love dowsing rods now, only if they're used the way Susan did them. And I'm going to show everybody really quick, and then I'm going to have Susan tell us why she does it like this, because I've never, ever have I seen it be done like this, ever.
If you were a servant that worked in this house, can you come over and turn this dowsing rod this way? If you were a servant, can you come and move the dowsing rod? Wow. Can you make it go all the way around? But it's not going to because it's going to hit the pan, but...
Wow, Mo. You feel anything, Mo?
Amazing. Wow. Amazing. Sammy, are you seeing the videos? Because I'm noticing it's cutting you off.
Yeah.
We lost Jill, but I texted her. So I'm going to ask one more question, and I'm going to let these guys jump in. Susan, why do it that way? I mean, it made me a believer, but where'd you get that from?
Actually, someone taught me how to do it that way that was a non-believer himself. He sat down, he said, the only way I'm going to believe that that's doing it is if you blindfold and have me ask the questions, and do what I was, directing the rods, where you can't tell what I'm directing, and then I'll believe it, And it was pretty powerful that night with a lot of answered questions with the rods, and made a believer out of him also. So yeah. I just think it's a more clarified way of using them, because there is a lot of controversy about the dowsing rods use of, because of shaking hands and, like you said,
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you showing us that, and that was Christina's very first investigation. And you're like, can I blindfold anybody here? And I'm like, oh, what is she going to do to me? I'm like, I have no
Please blindfold me. You got anything? I will pay you to blindfold me.
It was fun, and they really, now that I think they're not easy to move.
I'll supply the blindfold and the cuffs if you just put them on me.
So I love investigating with you guys. Jill, where's your favorite place, and why is it your favorite place? You guys are all
I would have to say Octagon was my favorite.
Everybody.
I got my first class A EVP there. I had read The Little Girl, a book. And when I was finished, I said, did you like that? Would you like me to come back and do that again? And very distinctly, you hear a little girl go, uh-huh, uh-huh. And I went, really? You would? Whoa. What the? I was like, yeah. So got to get back there, because I promised her that I would come back and read her another story and bring her a new book. So I want to be true to my word.
Yeah,
but we also had some other experiences there that were really great. But yeah, that place was awesome.
I suggest everybody go there. I mean,
yes,
every time we're on a podcast, they ask, what's your, and I'm like, Octagon Hall, hands down. And poor Christina, that was her first investigation, and it was nonstop all night. all night long, so she's running around chasing me, she's chasing Shannon, she's, what do I do, what's going
Me
on?
and Shannon chasing things going off.
Even if you can't do a night investigation, the day tours are wonderful too. I got some of my best evidence from there during a day tour that I went with my friends with.
Oh wow.
So I see you guys are going back there in December. Is a whole team going?
Yep.
Hopefully, yes.
As long as we can I think all of our schedules line up that day. Yeah.
That'd be nice to see. That'd be great to see.
And we're taking 2 newbies. So I love it. That's my favorite. I cannot wait to get them in there.
Oh, Christina knows exactly how that feels, being new and having to go there for the first time.
Hey, but I wouldn't change it for the world, because that's probably the one night that I learned a lot. Like a lot.
Yeah. That's one place where I saw the same look in Sammy Joe's eyes and Angelina's eyes from that place.
But you took charge well.
You don't want to see that look again.
I don't even like discussing that night. It brings me to tears. So we're going to leave that out of this, because it's your guys' podcast. It's about you guys. Justin, got some questions? This is Justin, our new team member. He got picked to be on the team because we got locked out on the 3rd floor of an abandoned Air Force building.
Not just because.
And I said, I guess we got to call the cops on ourselves. And Justin says, I don't do cops. He put himself 1 story down and got us back in the building, and we continued on.
Nice.
Justin.
They're
So
just
you
like, I
can break
came
into
back.
shit.
Huh?
So you can break into shit.
Or out.
Or out. Okay.
It keeps freezing up. I can't hear
Yeah,
anything.
we had to break in to break out.
We're hearing you pretty good, Jill.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you, Jill.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
All right, Justin's going to ask you guys a question.
So a lot of the things today, you see, especially like skeptics, there's CGI involved. People are doing it. There's video editing, technology that can alter things like that. So with all of the things going on, how do you help validate your own research to get the support to prove that it's reliable and that the interpretation of the evidence is actually something solid?
We got a good one here.
Yeah, like that's the most sophisticated question I've ever been asked in my whole entire life.
Why he's on the team?
Technical, I don't know.
Okay. So, I mean, what we've done in the past is we bounce them off other teams. We bounce them off of people that we know aren't going to bullshit anything. We have never put any evidence out there that we have not had at least 2 other teams tell us what they see or what they heard. And it's not that we send it and say, hey, listen to this. This is what happens. We send it to them and we're like, what do you see? What do you hear? And they come back with the same shit that we do. And when you have 2 other teams that do that, I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of times it's people that have been to that location of where it's coming from, so they kind of know what sounds and stuff are too. So
yeah, they've experienced the same things. But I mean, we bounce it off of other teams, and it's well respected teams that we bounce them off of. Chris,
the way that we validate, Susan will run a recorder, Shannon will have a recorder, I'll have a recorder, Jill will have a recorder. Like, we'll all have one going, and on like mine, you'll hear it plain as day. Well, Susan's, it's really faint, but you get those same words or those same concepts or those same noises, so we can kind of validate off of each other as well.
Well, devices, yeah.
And that's why it's so important to set your date and your times, on all your equipment. That way, when you're recording, you can sync to those times.
We've had people ask us how come we have some of the same equipment, but like REM pods or something, like we can set them up across the room from each other, and if they're both going off, or asking them to touch one or the other, it's more validation.
Yeah, going to an investigation with you guys is like you just need a U-Haul, because you guys have so much stuff. I mean, the one thing that I love all your stuff, but the one thing you probably don't need is those door buzzer things. Welcome.
Those are great. I like those.
Oh my gosh, Jill. Oh no, they're so loud.
Those things drive
That
me
scared the
nuts.
crap out of me at Octagon Hall. Shannon put that. I come walking up like, whoa.
We put them in the basement at Post Town and didn't tell nobody, and we scared a shit ton of people at Post Town.
Well, we used them at Brushy and got that one whatever walked past the doorway there at Brushy Mountain.
Yeah. I mean, they get on your damn nerves, but when they go off and nobody's around,
It's so cool.
It's
Yeah, it's cool then. So Justin has another question.
Oh God.
We're going to have to go a little further with that question.
Oh no.
Oh God.
So now that you've explained how you validate that, somebody says, I don't believe in science. I have a distrust for science. Because science is essentially you get a result and you have to prove it. And the more credibility and the more you can replicate that result, the more validation adds to your claim.
Yeah.
So technically, the theory is the sky is blue until somebody can prove that it's not.
Right.
Paranormal, it's a lot harder to do that. You're not getting the same constant feedback on that. So if somebody in the paranormal field or a skeptic or anybody comes to you and says, well, I just don't trust in science. It's not that I don't trust your science. I just don't believe in science. How do you each respond to that?
I tell them to kiss my ass and befriend them.
Susan?
Well, I kind of look at it like people that walk up to me because our vehicles are logoed and I have paranormal tag on the front of mine and stuff and all. And I've had people walk up to me in parking lots and say, are you trying to say your vehicle's paranormal or that you're paranormal or that paranormal's real? I'm like, yes, and absolutely yes. They're like, well, I'll pray for you. I'm like, I'll take all the prayers I can get.
Thanks. We need that.
Yeah, I'll take everything that you bring my way. You know, take all the positivity I can get.
That's right.
Jill, what about you? Uh-oh, Jill can't hear us. Jill, check your mute button.
We'll come back.
Tapping the phone. Well, yeah, Sammy, what about you?
I think one other thing, you're never going to fully get everybody to believe in what you believe in, you know, and the only thing that you can do is just kind of, especially like in some places, like when we were at Ohio State Reformatory, we got a few EVPs and it's the same voice, the same, you know, there's the same tone, the same resonance, everything about that voice is the same. And to get that in like different sections, just to be like, okay, hey, you know, here you go. And giving somebody the tone and the resonance and all that stuff for it. I think that's kind of one of the things too. You can't argue with a voice that's the same. You know, I sound different than everybody else. Shannon sounds different. You know, you all have that different tone. And I think trying to be able to be like, hey, listen to these and see what you think if they're the same. But like, I mean, you're not going to make everybody believe you and you're not going to make everybody happy either. So it's just kind of being out there and being in your own element and doing what you love.
Good answer.
Yeah,
Jill,
definitely.
we can hear you perfectly great.
Yes.
Don't move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't move your lips.
Jill, smoke a cigarette in 20 more minutes when the podcast is over. Or just smoke it now. Don't move.
My thing is, it always seems to be more our personal experiences that show us that the things are real, but we can't convey that to other people, you know, because we can only share that experience with them. They weren't there. That's the hard part. And catching evidence is key, but yeah, there's always that question of if it's valid or not. But personal experience, it's like when we went to Octagon, Shannon and I were carrying equipment in, and that whistling walk, we heard somebody whistling and we stopped and we didn't have any equipment up. Nothing was being recorded. There was no way for us to capture that, but it happened. You know, it's just our word.
Yeah. You know, I remember we got a really good EVP at Post Town, Jill. and it was me and you and a couple other girls. We with Joel and Chris Houston, and we had a face off. You go in the
Boys
basement,
versus
to
girls.
Miss Johnson's room. Let's see who's gonna win. And we got an amazing EVP that there's a man talking to us, and I would love for somebody to say that's not real, that didn't happen. Bullshit, because I got the whole footage. So that's important too. It's making sure you have footage.
Yeah.
Lots of footage,
And there's all kinds of things that happen before you ever get your equipment out.
Always.
Or the second your camera dies.
But you're always going to have somebody that is, not going to believe. And, that's their choice, But, sometimes they don't want to believe because they don't want to. Or, they're scared to open themselves up to it, for some reason. So, I was just kidding when I said unfriend them and tell them to kiss my ass. But
No, she wasn't.
no, you aren't.
That was kind of a smart asses answer, but no, I would just try to explain it to them just a little bit more. And if they choose not to believe, then so be it. They're missing out. They're really, really missing out.
My son-in-law loves to give me grief over it. He's a non-believer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes a place haunted to you, to all of you?
What makes a place haunted?
Yeah.
My own experiences would be my answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I listen to what other people say about a place, but I have to, if I experience it myself, then it's haunted for me.
So let's take that question a little bit further. What is it that you individually do to bring out the haunting wherever it is your location is at?
Or to prove to yourself that it's there or not there.
Good question.
Yeah. I mean,
I personally.
Go ahead, Jill. Nope, go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Well, we can hear you.
For me personally, I'm sensitive, so I can walk in somewhere and feel if something is there or not. But that's not everybody's way of knowing. And usually I try to go in not knowing much or anything about the place, so that when I get in there, I do a walkthrough before they do the walkthrough with everyone that gives the history and the stories behind it. And I try to limit what I hear, so that way I can see if what I'm feeling or picking up on is correct.
Right.
Can you also kind of elaborate? So if you got somebody watching who's like, she said she's sensory, what does that mean? I don't know. She's just got a feeling. Can you kind of like elaborate on that more about what's different between that versus not?
Go, Justin.
Where'd you get him from?
Yeah.
The local college.
The appropriate
Local college. He's in his master's year, right? Graduate year. He's in his graduate year, so.
We need to put him with Chris.
He's been,
Him and Chris Houston need that.
No, that would be a really long day.
Let the boys chatter and we'll go off to our thing.
Hey, that's true. I like your answer, Jill, because I investigating with you, I've noticed, and you've done it to me a few times. I don't know if you've known it or not. Angelina, come here. When you have me stand somewhere where you've seen something or heard something or something's happened, and you recently did it to me at OSR, and I got stuck in where were we? Solitaire?
Yeah.
Jill comes around and says, hey, Angelina. She says, I need to borrow you for a second. I said, what? I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I'm making sure everyone's having a good time. And you bring me where? Solitaire?
No, I think it was on the second floor it was on one of the wings, and we were walking back through the hallway and I saw something and I snagged you, and you and Chris were like, oh, what's back there? And I'm like, I'm not going back there. And I saw something.
Wait. I got the video on that. She was like, Angelina, come with us for a minute. I'm like, okay. Christina was lost at the time on a walkie-talkie. She couldn't find her way out or something. And she goes, I just want you to walk down that hallway. Well, damned if I did. And I tried to walk back, and that was a wrap. So I like your style of investigation, because you not only do you try to debunk it yourself, but you put someone over or in that area what happened and just say, hey, stand there, how you feel.
That's right.
Justin just said that's where I got that from. Well, Jill was one of the first people I met too 5 years ago. It'll be 5 years next month for me. So,
Yeah.
Isn't that called sending in the canary?
thanks, Jill. Appreciate it.
Well, that way I'm also proving to myself that I'm not overreacting.
Yeah. And that's why it's very important to ask questions during investigation. Did you hear that? Did you see that? When your teammates stop, what did you see? Let's go check it out. You know, I see a lot of teams that are just like, they don't listen to what their teammates are saying, and they're just off doing their own thing. And it's like, what are you there for? Just to walk around with a video camera? Like, I can't stand that. But go ahead.
So like as a sensor, like you said, you try to like kind of validate it to yourself too.
Yes.
Do you feel that your emotions ever do play a factor into that? Your say you come in, you guys had an argument about something beforehand. Hey, I want to do this tonight. No, we're not doing that. We're doing this. You lose the vote. So you're kind of like, do those emotions ever play into anything for you?
No.
Or how do you disconnect from those emotions?
I don't.
Intermittent.
That's one issue I have. A lot of people who are sensitive are able to disconnect, and I have an issue with that. I'm still learning. You know, it's a process. Some people are really good at it right off the rip, and some people have no idea how to control it. And mine just happens at random. Like the last investigation we were at, we walked around and we were at, what was it? Harriman
Hospital. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're walking around and Ronnie's doing the tour, and he mentions on this floor that there was this person on this floor, and he gave the backstory, and he did not give the person's name or their identity. And then when we walked away, I just had a name in my head. And when he was getting ready to leave, I whispered in his ear, and he said, "How'd you get that name?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It just came to me." Like, yeah. So.
Wow. Very interesting. I know you get very tense. Sometimes I know I was scared when you told me, "Hey, Angelina, come here for a second. We need you." I got scared, like eternally scared, like because you've put me in that situation before. Hello, Lisa Marie. We're just gonna say hello to everybody real quick. A Facebook user says, "Sorry, we don't know your name." It says, "I personally think one of the best ways to analyze EVPs as to what everybody's actually hearing is upon reviewing it, have everyone write it down, then think what they think they're hearing. When everybody's done, then compare notes."
That's what we do.
That's what we do. That's pretty much what we do. And I reach out to other teams, you know, with my evidence. I know I've reached out to Shannon a lot. Keith Age is someone else I reach out to, Chris Houston, Gabby Kelly, all that good stuff. So yeah, we do that. I was just checking. He's like, check the comments, because I have you guys big screen because I'm just so excited.
Anymore.
A couple good stories. I was like, somebody's got to have something to chime in.
What is everybody's favorite piece of equipment?
Ooh. My voice recorder.
It's what?
My voice recorder. Just my simple old voice recorder.
I know you brushed that off onto me. Thank you very much for that.
Do what?
I said, I know you brushed that off onto me. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. That's where you're going to get the most evidence.
Trying to get those earphones out of her head is like, it's hard.
I love it.
Especially when she's standing there freaking out, and I'm like, just take them off for a while. Just take this. No, thanks. Appreciate you.
Yeah. And there's nothing better than listen and laugh. There's absolutely.
Right. Susan, what about you?
That one's hard to top.
It's harder than Justin's question.
I like my camcorders to set up, just to take them in and find a spot and set them up and let them run while we're investigating other places. You know, just let them run in a place for a while and then go back and watch it later. So I guess my camcorder would be.
Yeah, I know the first time we met you, the first thing we saw you doing was setting up your cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Over at Octagon Hall.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's you.
you know, I got to hear and see it. Sammy, what about you? What's your favorite piece of equipment?
I have to agree with Shannon. Mine's my voice recorder. I actually have two. I have the one that's a watch that I can wear on my wrist. And I typically have it going pretty much all the time. Because even when they're doing walkthroughs and giving us history and stuff like that, we've gotten stuff on them. So that's my favorite, hands down, because you don't have to be doing anything else, and you can just set a recorder, and it can pick up anything that's been happening, has happened. Whether it's something intelligent or if it's just something that happens all the time, anything like that.
You can't be everywhere at the same time. So, I mean, I own 3 voice recorders.
No.
So with 3 different locations in a place where you set them, so you can be where you're not and still get the evidence.
Yeah. So when you go out and investigate with Oldham County, do not talk shit about them because they have recorders everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah,
we are watching.
So,
don't talk no shit.
They're watching.
Big sister's always
Jill,
there.
what about you? What's your favorite piece of equipment?
My favorite piece of equipment, believe it or not, is my cell phone. I turn it on video, and even if I'm in a dark spot where I can't use video, it still picks everything up very well.
Yeah.
Same for me.
I was gonna say that's him.
That's you and
voice
Justin.
recorder seems to be too sensitive, so the one on my video works just perfect. So
Justin's the same way. He's always with the cell phone and just looking and walking and listening and helping us validate. So, yeah, we'll definitely, we always investigate. So we're going to have to get Justin in with you guys and see what you think about Justin. But he's a cell phone guy, too. And a light behind you guy. Huh?
I said I dig his intellect.
Do you want another hard question?
No.
Like hard question?
Sure. Shannon, no.
It's
Start with, let's start with.
Uh-oh, Sammy, it's on you.
Oh, Sammy. It's Sammy.
We're gonna let you take the lead.
Okay.
What is the biggest misunderstanding about the paranormal field?
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. I love it.
I think the biggest misunderstanding is when you have experiences and people devalidate what you've experienced. And I think that's the biggest misunderstanding, is that, everybody's different and everybody has different experiences. And I think that's the biggest thing that everybody misunderstands, because I know what I felt. I know what's happened to me. Angelina knows what's happened to her. Jill, we've all had different things happen. And people misunderstand that and think that we do it, people do it for attention, or people do it because they want to make a name for themselves. And it's like, no, this is what I felt, and I can't help what I felt. But I think that's the biggest misunderstanding, is what you feel and people devalidate.
Okay. Did that satisfy you?
Yeah, I'm asking the questions. That's anybody else want to chime in? Have any thoughts or to add?
Mm-mm.
You better. I'm going to ask you another hard question. You got another one, Justin? Oh, Christina got one. I'm loving my team tonight.
So, I guess it's kind of 2 questions in one. They kind of go side by side. But for new people that are watching that maybe haven't been out yet to do this and are just thinking about it, and even people that have been doing this for years, what's your intake on people like taking souvenirs from places that they go ghost hunting at? And what kind of advice can you give to people that are maybe new into this or don't know much about it towards taking property from a haunted facility?
It's a big thing nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, that's been big before long. Look at what happened with the name.
You went back.
I would never. Mm-mm.
Go ahead, Sammy.
I personally think that it is insensitive, and I think it's very disrespectful to the property, to the owner itself of the property, but also to the people that were there before. I'm a very culture kind of person. When we went to Hawaii, you know, you don't take the rocks, you don't take the lava rocks, you know, you leave those. And I think in a haunted location, it's the same thing because things can be attached to those that you take. But I think it's more of a respect that you have for the place itself to leave those intact and leave those there for those people behind you or that came before you.
Very nice. I like that answer.
Yeah. That summed it right up.
Yeah.
Don't take something that's not yours, or your mother will come and slap your hand. In this case, it might be a spirit. The bolt of lightning up your ass. I don't know.
I got one more here.
You got one more question from Justin, and then you can relax.
Okay.
So when somebody says paranormal, number one thought that usually goes to everybody's head is ghost, spirits. Hollywood's put in the idea of like demons, angels, stuff like that. The technical definition is much more broad than that. It just is basically just anything that you can't explain with science. Would you guys also include things of like folklore? So that's, you know, stories, campfire stories, things like that. Cryptids like Bigfoot, Yeti, Loch Ness Monster, mythology, UFOs, aliens. Would you throw all of that into the paranormal field, or would you say you guys are more streamlined to the subgenre of like ghosts?
So we do several things paranormal.
There was Harry made it.
Harry, yeah, from Harry and the Henderson. So yes, no, paranormal is not just ghosts. It's UFOs. It's a lot of things, and you know we just haven't dabbled in any of it.
Mm-hmm. There's a big umbrella.
Very.
You know,
I seen you agreeing with it heavily, Jill. What are your thoughts on it?
When he talked about folklore and legend, myth, I do believe wholeheartedly, because history's proved it, I do believe that all legends stem from some truth. Something happened at some time in that location to those people, or, you know, that place that was so profound that they carried it on, you know, whether it be written, Sanskrit on walls, you know, it doesn't matter. It just, I truly believe that legend stems from some truth. Something had to have happened that was unexplainable to be passed on like that.
Wow.
That's where I kind of elaborate. Like when people say, "Oh, there's no way that can happen." Okay, well, you're going to sit here and discredit everybody. Give me one new creature. I'll just give you a piece of paper and a pen. You come up with one new creature, an animal. I don't care what it is. Show me something that has never been seen before. It's not that easy to just sit there and come up with something and then create some more or less elaborate hoax, if you will.
Right.
Even if you're lying, there has to be some form of truth to it. Now, what you saw and how you interpreted it may not be precise, but I saw something along those lines, and I'm telling you how I am interpreting that.
Right. Perception's everything.
Yes.
And this is why Justin's on the team, because now he just reminded me. One day we were watching a TV show, and there was something on there, and he's something about it was the first plane ever built. It was a little piece of wood that looked like a little plane.
It was the History
like
Channel about ancient aliens and ancient history and all that.
We
They were
can't watch
talking
that
about
together.
they're talking about how all these ancient civilizations have so many things in common. They're all in different parts of the world. Our history says there was no communication. So how do all these different civilizations and the different parts of the world have the exact same tools, the exact same mindset, the exact same systems, everything in place if there was no large-scale communication between them?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Deep as shit.
I'm saying, Justin and Jill, you guys can have good for your own team.
Totally. I'm like, oh, ancient aliens, that's my show, man.
Yeah. I don't dig deep.
I'm a totally firm believer in ancient aliens here.
Like Cheech and Chong or something.
Man, I like the history. So like the histories, mysteries, and mysteries at the museum.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we might run a little bit over. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
A really good time.
Since we're kind of running with these shows,
Yeah.
the unsolved mysteries. Would you guys ever go investigate an unsolved mystery?
Absolutely.
Whether it's like a murder, a psycho, or anything like that. If somebody said, "Hey, we need somebody to come," no one else wants to do this, or everyone that's come in, they've left needing like their own psychiatrist. Would you guys be like, "Yeah, sure, why not? We'll strap up our boots. Give us 5 minutes."
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Psychiatrist.
Like all day, every day.
Yeah.
Jill, I'm very interested in seeing Jill and Justin investigate together.
It would be very interesting.
Yeah, because everything I'm hearing from Jill is it's like Justin. It's I debate with him when we watch the shows together. I'm like, screw that. It was a bird. It doesn't look like an airplane to me. It looks like a little bird. In my mind, like there was birds before airplanes. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's a goddamn bird that they're just perceiving. But it's a goddamn bird because that's how I perceive it. But with Justin, if that's how you perceive it, that's how you perceive it. Here's how I perceive it. He's not the type of person that fights you back and argues it about it, So, and I know Jill, you're like that too. So I'd be interested to see, just watch you two investigate together. Not even go, just watch. So that's how, you guys dig really deep.
I think a big part of research is I present my stuff to you. You tell me why I'm wrong. And then I just have to tell you why what you're saying is wrong. Because when you can no longer tell me I'm wrong, anything that I bring forward is now correct. So I have now validated myself by invalidating your rebuttals before I present anything.
Yep.
Well,
I
you
won't argue
bring
with
your
anyone
argument to me,
unless
I'll
I know I'm
disprove
right.
you, and then you can no longer disprove me.
Yeah.
Amazing guy. God, he's just, I love these.
Let's just say it's a really long podcast for him and Chris.
Yeah, him and Chris
Yes.
are going to get along great. I think they're going to be huge debaters, but in a very grown-up way and not an egotistical way. Like a lot of people think, and I love you, Chris Houston. A lot of people think he has an ego. I don't think Chris has an ego. I think Chris just knows what he knows, and he talks about what he knows, and he talks about how he perceives things.
Yeah.
And I love that because for me, that's being real. This is how I really feel. This is how I see it. Take it like that, But I don't know if it'd be a long day with these two.
Y'all have to pack a breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a couple days. Yeah, that's gonna be a long weekend.
It's a Ziploc bag.
I mean, I got stuck in the principal's office at Post Town over where the extra room was with the couch. I got stuck in there for about an hour and a half with him and I think it was Gavin. And I'm like, oh my God. My first experience into the paranormal, I'm like, what are they even talking about? Like, I don't even know. I'm just here. I don't know. But I've loved Chris Houston ever since. Chris is a great guy. Yeah, they are very, very much alike. And you, Chris, and Justin and Jill should all go together, and that would be interesting. Very interesting.
We would just need to just walk behind them with camcorders and just record everything that they said and did. And
I
that
don't
just
see
be
the gate.
Yeah,
You
he
should hear our car rides.
So
Did you?
I got a question for everybody but Shannon. Why Oldham County Paranormal? Why decide to go on Shannon's team?
Oh, good question. I need to know this. Yeah.
Why did we join?
Reclaims blowing raspberries.
Answer correctly, ladies. Who's going in the back of the line on the next investigation?
Well,
It looks like you're cutting out on us again. We lost you, Bill. Where'd you go?
I happened to be online the night that she opened up and said, I'm starting my own paranormal team. Who wants in? And I raised my hand. I've known this lady. Her mom her dad played music with my first husband, and her mom came to my house when she was like 4 months pregnant with this lady. So I've known this lady since she was conceived, basically.
Wow.
So felt pretty comfortable, and said, if you can handle having an old lady, I'm your girl. So
Perfect. And then we're Steve White. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, man. I'm gonna read them your question in a minute. But go ahead, Sammy.
Well, I was not on a team, and I kind of did just things here and there with Paula and Gavin a little bit. And they invited me to go to Waverly. I went, and like Shannon said, me and her just it was just click. I mean, it was like watching my twin across the room from me. And I mean, it worked so well, and we just clicked so well. And when she asked me to be a part of the team, I was like, absolutely. Like, did not want to be a part of another team or try to find another team. Like, we clicked so well, and we were so alike. It just worked so well with our personalities, and I'm just really thankful to be a part of it.
You can text us later and tell us the truth.
where's the tissues?
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, the first time I met Shannon,
I think it sounds too positive, Bill.
the first time I met Shannon, I loved her personality, and then when I actually got to investigate with her,
That's another show.
I do background checks on everybody.
I don't remember. We blindfolded and handcuffed.
Shh, no.
Oh my God. Damn it, Jill. You wasn't supposed to tell nobody about
I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah.
I will make sure to bring her leather pants.
They chafe.
Oh God.
They only come out for a few occasions. This sounds like it's going to be one of them.
Okay. Like I said, when I met Shannon, she had a great personality. And after I got to investigate with her, I really liked how she did things. And she was very thorough, very talkative. Me, on the other hand, I just sit there. I'm very quiet. I just take in the sounds, the feelings, the energy to see if it shifts or how it shifts or whatever. I observe. But I like how she conversates, the things she asks. And I absolutely love her soiree of gizmos and gadgets.
Yeah, it's a pretty big soiree there. She's catching up with Gavin.
I love it. And she's just very thorough. She's very real. And I don't like fake people. And she's just very blunt and real and out there. And I have a lot of respect for that.
Did you say I was out there?
Yeah, she's real.
I
Means putting yourself out there. You're not afraid to speak your mind or speak your truth. You know what I'm saying? You put yourself out there. That's what I meant. I'm out there.
Yeah.
Relax, Rack City. Relax. Rack City, bitches. Relax.
Oh my God.
God, I had to tell that story last week.
Oh, good. So let's tell that story now because I think it's funny. It has to do with the paranormal, y'all, but not too much. So we're at Randolph County Infirmary in Indiana. Oh, no, a year ago with you guys, a little over a year ago. And Shannon, we're in a church part. I think we were in the woman's side of the church or the men's side, either one. We were on either side. And I hear Shannon talking to Susan about something, and I'm like, I'm recording live. And then all of a sudden, Rack City's playing on her phone, and I'm like, "What is going on?" And then you told what story about how you're at?
So I never went to church again. So I was sitting in church with my papa and my whole family. We were all on one huge pew, and it was for Father's Day for papa. And I'm very bored when it comes to church. So we were like 15 minutes into this. And I'm like, good God. How long? Because it felt like 5 hours. And reach down to my phone to look at the time and hit play on my phone. So the song that was playing was Rack Rack City Bitch. And if you don't know the song, we'll just say that the kind of the first part of it, is 10, 10, 10, 20s on your tip, bitch. And this was broadcast throughout the whole damn church. When the preacher was praying, and so all I was trying to do was turn the volume down, and I kept turning the volume up, so it was louder and louder and louder, until finally I just grabbed it out of my purse and I stabbed it into my leg like the speaker part, just so it would stop playing. And my whole family and the whole church heard, and I haven't been back. I don't go to the same church anymore.
I think they were melting. The family was melting into the pew, oh God.
Yeah. Oh no!
I'm pretty sure that was the word of Jesus. We're in the wrong building.
Yeah.
You have so much more potential to get 10s and 20s out there elsewhere.
This is a very small, very rural, old church with a lot of old, elderly people in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all went home and called their grandkids, "What are titties?"
Right. But how crazy would that preacher feel when, if he passed around the thing and said, "Hey, you got any 10s and 20s?"
I hope the preacher's not watching right now. I hope if you are, she doesn't mean anything. We made the story up.
Well,
Mom, if you're watching, I don't hang out with her. I just investigate with her.
Well, just know that I know
Getting something else on it.
when I pass away, I know that I'm going to hell, and I know that he will stand up and I will take his chair. At that point, I will be the ruler of hell, because it was just.
And he's going to ask for your 10s and 20s at the game.
Yeah. On my titties.
All these years I've known you, I thought you were religious. And you're like, it was boring. I was bored as hell.
You thought who was religious? Me?
Yep.
Girl. No. I'm the last thing of religious. No.
No, it was probably more about the fact that she had to be up time in the morning. On a Sunday.
Speaking of religion, well, let me ask Steve's question first. You want to read Steve's? You guys know Steve White, right?
I don't know.
All right, so Steve's got the question. Probably it's a bad question, but here's my question to everybody. When going live, what are your thoughts on my Wi-Fi signal interfering with EMF detector device? Because sometimes it's said that Wi-Fi signal will create false positives with the EMF detectors and devices. Just curious on what your thoughts are. Thanks in advance. That's from Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Good question.
Yeah.
Who wants to take that?
Oh man.
I mean, I totally agree. We don't use like EMF meters or anything like that, but I mean, even our REM pods, when we go next to them with our cell phones, I mean, it manipulates a lot of your equipment. That's why it's best just to have it off. I mean,
any kind of electrical field, even wiring in old buildings and stuff, some of them can send off currents that will set off your equipment.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of test it out.
Can you explain, answer his question in a little more detail? How would you test it? How do you guys test it?
Steve didn't ask that part of the question.
Yeah.
Like I have an EMF detector, so like if we think that there's any interference or anything like that, we can always use that and kind of test around, especially some of these older buildings that we go into wiring and things. I typically, if I'm going to have my cell phone on me, it's typically in airplane mode, just so it's not sending signals. So that way I can be, sure that it's not kind of interfering if I use it for a light or something like that.
Right. And I know with the EMF meters, one of the biggest things I learned in the beginning was if you're going to use one, you're going to want to map out that area before you begin investigating.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
You're going to want to put it to your cell phone, and I learned that, matter of fact, when the night I met Jill and Chris Houston and all that, because we had a big debate in the middle of the hallway at Post Town where the creepy stairs are. The EVP sessions are big. And we had a debate about it. And they kept thinking, though, at that time that it was my phone and I was live. And it wasn't my phone. So then I'm like, what is the point in mapping if sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't, but I still always map. I still always map. And that's what I do. I'll if I think it's a phone or a camera, I'll go EMF, detector up to it. But I think mapping is very important with EMF detectors.
Yeah. And if we are on live and we see a piece of equipment going off like the REM pod or whatever, if you're a certain feet away from the REM pod, it's not going to go off. I mean, it will when you walk up close to it. But even on lives, we'll walk up to our equipment and put it to it if it goes off, just to verify that it's not that.
Yeah, because when Shannon's on live, a lot of times like we'll try to debunk stuff on live because we're like, did that really just happen? So like we're trying to figure it out too while they're watching. So we're trying to debunk it right after it happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Our brain, our first thing in our brain is to know that didn't just happen. So let's try to debunk it.
Mhm.
And
Try to
what?
recreate it.
Probably
Or replicate it. Mm-hmm.
60% of it, I would say we could debunk. The rest, no. Yeah, but we always try.
I know. I never thought walkie-talkies would interfere with anything until we were at Octagon Hall and we were in Mary Elizabeth's room and you had the REM pod in the hallway. I'd say 4 or 5 feet away from me, and I was on the two-way and it kept setting it off.
We were in the basement.
Shannon and Susan were so quick to debunk that and be like, oh, I'm like, the REM pod keeps going off. What the heck's going on? And hit your battery button, hit your walkie-talkie button again. And so I wonder, like, now I'm going to be checking, do regular walkie-talkies, just battery powered, interfere with the REM pod? I think with equipment, right. I think with equipment, you need to learn how to use it and use it correctly. Just like the SLS, a lot of people don't use that correctly. They don't ask questions to validate. Put your arm out, lift it up. Shannon does a bit. Put your hands in the air. Bend over. Shannon make you exercise with the SLS, but
and that's definitely one piece of equipment you definitely have to map out the area that you're using.
Absolutely.
Right, exactly.
I think it's important to map as well because I think a lot of people, to provide some more explanation on it, the reason it's important to map is because you have different frequencies. So when you talk about electromagnetic fields, it's not just, is there electricity? There is, think of it like radios. You have AM and FM. Those radio winks of the waves are moving at different frequencies.
Did you call them winks?
Mm-hmm.
Radio links.
Oh, I thought you said winks.
I thought you did.
So the wavelengths that are being emitted are going at different frequencies. So AMs are longer, which is why if you try to go through like a tunnel and you're listening to AM, it cuts out. FM's a much higher frequency. It's a much faster pace. So it can actually go through things much easier, which is why FM doesn't break up if you go underground where AM will. Same thing is true of any equipment where you're using for light. So any of your laser grids, your cameras and things like that. You've got the rainbow colors. That's a spectrum of how fast the light waves are moving, which is why you can see some things. And that's why infrared is such a popular tool, is because it's a different frequency of wavelength that you can record from the surrounding light that's being there emitted.
All right,
But you can't see it with the naked eye. So that's why you map things out, and that's why you kind of use the devices that get used.
Justin needs to stop talking before someone steals him from us.
Am I going to have a male investigator soon?
Well, I was gonna say, do you plan on adding anybody else to your team?
As long as I don't have to dress and drag and do the hula.
We only do that one time a year. Just one time. Yeah.
It's a special party.
Mhm.
As long as it's open bar, I'm in.
It's always open bar with us. It's open everything. Yeah, obviously. You heard that in Jill's story. It's open.
No special party for that one.
Leather pants became a leather hula skirt.
Oh God, no, this is gonna be fun. You guys definitely can borrow him. We talked about earlier where we're gonna be moving. We're not gonna say that loud, but you can borrow him. He's not far away. I think you guys would have a great time. And like me, like anytime someone comes on a team, I want them to investigate with you guys. You know, I have the same people I talk about all the time, and that's who we try to keep it with. So you guys can borrow him. Just if you keep him, I'll find you.
I don't know.
It's okay. We'll be listening.
Yeah, that's right. So
they're gonna see you long before you see them. They got cameras everywhere. Here, move to the next room. Next room.
I mean, one time we were at Randolph and we were talking about that young man who just stunk to high hell because his daddy didn't want to tell him, hey, son, go clean your armpits or whatever it was, you know. And we're driving home and I'm like, I wonder if Shannon got that on a recorder anywhere. Or if any of them got it on the recorder.
I don't remember.
Do you remember that?
I'm sure. Yeah.
We do.
I think you said, look at him sleeping on a couch. It's going to smell. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And when everyone was cleaning up at the end of the night and I'm walking around and all these recorders are being picked up, I'm like, holy shit. You know, and then on the way home, I'm like, did I say anything mean about these guys? Oh, I don't care. You know.
She is such a whore. We heard it.
Well, she didn't say it that night. She just repeated it now, didn't she?
Yes, she did. She just told us.
Did I say whore? So I want to ask Sammy, Susan, and Jill, what makes Shannon a good team leader?
Because she's crazy as hell.
I would say still
Can't
out.
beat him, join him.
Yeah. What do you think?
He said, if you can't beat him, join him.
Touche.
What about you, Sammy?
I mean, she doesn't really act like, you know, she acts like a leader when it's needed, you know, when there's roles to take on or if somebody wants to talk to about our team or for our team. But other than that, like she lets us be individuals, you know, she lets us kind of do our own things and what we're good at. And I think that's kind of where you lead a team, you know, you use your strengths and she really brings out our strengths. So
She doesn't tell us what to do. She knows that we know what we're doing and
yeah.
we do our thing.
Yeah, and that's going to lead into another question. But Jill, what about you? What makes Shannon a good team lead?
Like I said, she's real. She tells it like it is, and that's where you need your direction, you know. But like Susan said, she doesn't tell you what to do. You know, she just lets you be you. Pardon?
She'll just put you on lockdown if need be. All right, that's it. You're done for the night. Cuffing in the corner. We'll pick you up in the morning.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Handcuff you to the rail.
Handcuffs and alcohol.
Or want to shoot you with a gun because, you know, she's threatened me with a gun. That doesn't remember versus what she said. I got my gun to shoot you. That's what she said. So
they shouldn't have given me a license because I will shoot you.
Shannon, what does each of your team members bring different to the team from each other? And talk about, is it Helen that's not with us or
Penny
Penny too? Like what sets them all apart from each other?
Well, so I mean, with Susan, you know, again, they all have their different techniques, you know, and what they're better at. I'm not going to say what they're good at and what they're not, because they're good at everything. But you know what they're better at. You know, Susan, she seems to be, or she really hasn't done it the last couple of times, but we've just been filming a lot for a TV show and not investigating. But she brings a lot to the table, like on the video part of it. You know, she's the only team member that runs video. And to us that's a lot, because majority of the stuff that we have is audio. So to have something, walk across the screen, or you catch something on video, that's kind of hard to debunk, when you see it with your own eyes. And if it was to be debunked, we would have debunked it. I almost said bedunked it. You just don't.
Bedunked it.
Yeah, that's a new word. Bedunked it.
Bedunked it.
Right.
Justin heard that all the way in the kitchen, and I hear him laughing.
Yeah, that's just, I do stupid shit sometimes. Sandy, like I said, she's just, her whole damn everything she does is a ghost magnet. And it's like, she doesn't have to have anything. She doesn't have to have a piece of equipment. It seems like no matter what spirit we're communicating to and with, she's always able to kind of take that conversation over and just change. If it's a child, she'll start, babying it like a child. If she feels that she's speaking, with an older person, then she investigates more towards the older person. She is the biggest damn tool we have. It's not tool, piece of equipment. It's crazy.
She's a tool.
Yeah, and she was free. So I wish we would have before I bought all this shit. We would be so much richer. But Jill is, again, she said that, she's very sensitive, and she is, and that brings a lot to our table, because that we're not, Susan, she's
I'm working on it.
She's working on it, and she's finding her way. But Jill's there, and to bring that part to our team, especially when we're in a whole different section, than Jill is, and she doesn't know what's going on over here. But then when we get back together and we converse about it, damn it, she'll have a name, she'll have, oh well, this happened, and to me that's just the best part, because we can't do that. None of us do that. So. And it's not the only one thing they do. We have so much equipment, so they know how to run every piece of equipment that we have. And when I say we have a lot of equipment, it's about $4,000 worth of shit. And that's what I have. I don't know how much they have. That's just what I have, and that's a lot. So to have a team that can run every piece of equipment that we have and know, what it means. And if a piece of equipment goes off, they're not looking at me going, Shana, what the hell's that mean? They know, so to me, I've got one damn team, one hell of a team.
You sure do. You definitely do. I love you guys. Let's talk about, you mentioned the TV show. What's up with that?
Yeah, so we are currently filming with Keith Age. Keith Age is the rock and roll ghost hunter. And he is, between him and Chris Booth and Adrian Booth, they're the ones that pretty much made Waverly Hills famous. Right. So we are filming a TV show called Bourbon Spirits with him. And it's more focused kind of around the Kentucky area. Are you drinking bourbon, Sammy?
Yes. Oh.
Did you just rise to the occasion? Oh, okay.
Oh, Justin's been drinking bourbon.
I answered the question before you specified. Are you drinking bourbon? Yes, Sammy. Oh, not me.
Maybe it's just moonshine.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I've got that too.
All right, what was the damn question again?
The TV show you're filming for.
Okay, so yes, it's called Bourbon Spirits. It's predominantly focused, of Kentucky and bourbon around areas that have bourbon. Like one place in Kentucky is, well, actually two places in Kentucky actually has the name bourbon in their name, in the name of the business. One of them we did shoot in Illinois, so is that the only one we've done out of town? Yeah, that's the only one we've done outside of the state of Kentucky. So we really just wanted to keep it more, in the state of Kentucky than going around to others. But it'll be shown locally. I'm not sure what else they're going to try to, get it on. JC is our producer. So I'm sure he'll probably, try to get it somewhere else. So we're pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be run on KET, which is Kentucky Educational Television, which
Wow.
is so damn cool because when I was in school, we watched KET, growing up. So, I'm sure our show's not going to be something that they show to elementary students, but,
That'd be a lot.
right.
Did you
yeah, that's how it would be. So, but KET is not just for the kids. It's like I said, Kentucky Educational TV. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations on that. And I know you can't mention the locations, but I know where you went to in Illinois. Is it worth it? Because we're thinking of going.
Yes. Get a hotel room. Don't stay the night.
Oh, okay.
Only just because, and we just may be bougie bitches. I mean, I don't know. 9
You
times
are
out
a bougie bitch. You're a bougie cornbread bitch.
I think we're bougie. Yeah. It's just, they're not ready. They're not ready for it to be a bed and breakfast yet. The facility is absolutely amazing.
She's doing 10s and 20s.
He's going to have a really nice place there at some point, but it's not quite there yet.
I thought it was already because I was reading it online because I was going to book it for us. I wanted to check first.
A little bit too far.
I mean, we're bougie. We'll hang out and sleep.
So, if you go, if you go, make sure you go when it's not hot, because there's absolutely not any air conditioning except for window units and little thing. No. We were miserable. We were absolutely fucking miserable. But we're going back. So obviously, it wasn't that miserable.
Very interesting. Good. Thank you. Because I hear good stories and I hear about the place itself, but about their paranormal activity. I hear a lot of people, like 70% of people I've talked to about it say they don't get nothing. They've never got anything. But then I go back and I kind of watch their YouTube videos or their live feeds, and I'm like, no wonder you didn't get anything. You don't even know what the hell you're doing, So I've kind of been on the fence about it, and I always like to ask people about locations that we haven't been to yet. But I'm excited. When is it going to come out? Do you know when it's going to start airing?
So we just know 2023, the end of 2023 is when it'll air. But you guys will see on that TV show some evidence we caught there. And it's damn worth it.
Yeah, I think we still have 2 more locations to hit, and then it has to do all the editing and stuff. So.
I think you should show us some of that evidence privately anyway, because I've known you for like 5 years now. I'm not a rookie anymore.
Oh, I can show you. I just can't show all of them.
Right. I'm super excited for you guys with that. I'm excited. What else do you guys have going on this year? I know you're going to Octagon Hall in December. I saw that on your Facebook. And guys out there, follow them on Facebook. It's Oldham County Paranormal Researchers. Go like their page and see what's going on. But besides that, what do you guys got planned for the rest of the year?
We've got Scarefest coming up in October. We do that every year. That's the big paranormal convention in Lexington. And Freddy Krueger is there. We go VIP. Like, VIP, baby. So so we get to go and party with them. Like, we do the after party and we're drinking with fucking Freddy Krueger, and like we're
like he's real.
Are we talking like the Robert England?
Robert England.
Okay, then I'm all for that. Then.
Yes.
We were supposed to go last year with them, but we were in Massachusetts soaking it up on the beach.
Yes.
Missed out on Robert England. That's on y'all.
We rub elbows with the Ghost Brothers. We know Steve, Tango and Steve. We several times, had drinks with them.
Chris, Booth Brothers.
Yeah, the Booth Brothers.
Some of the Wraith Chasers were there.
Yep, Wraith Chasers. We didn't see them on any of the after parties or anything.
Paul and Gavin are there.
Yep, Paula, Gavin, Kelly. Keith don't go. Yeah,
he was
Keith-
there last year, but
Was Keith
he was there last year, but I don't know if he's going to be there.
I thought he was there last year because didn't he do all the promoting, or didn't he set that up last year?
Yeah, he was there last year, but I haven't heard him say anything about this year. I don't know.
Yeah, I
if
don't
he's
know
gonna
that
be
he.
there
I
or
don't think he's going.
He's
But we have
getting-
Con at Post Town. That's September
24th.
24th. Well,
The weekend.
23rd, 24th, 25th.
You're
We
doing the
are
parade.
doing the parade. So
What
we
parade?
yeah, we got asked to do the parade in our hometown where Susan and I live. I mean, were you born here?
Wait, she's telling you since before you were born, and you're just now asking her where she was born.
She knows
Yeah.
nothing.
So we're born and raised in Henry County. So one of the towns in Henry County is Eminence. So they've asked us to be in the Eminence Day Parade after we were in the Oldham County Day Parade about a month ago.
So, like, do you guys put up a paranormal float or something, or walk?
No, last time we just had 2 trucks and candy. This time we're going out. We've got ghosts that are going to be running around our truck. We got, I think we're going to get a banner to where when they walk in front of us, it'll have Oldham County Paranormal Research.
Awesome.
I'm just excited about the damn ghosts, man. I'm going to have 3 ghosts running around our truck.
I was about to say, when you say ghost, you're just like, yeah, because she gets ghost pens, ghost coffee cups, ghost, everything.
No, they'll be in ghost costumes. My granddaughter will be in a
Do a
ghost.
Mario theme.
Yeah.
You
What?
got Princess, Mario, Luigi, Yoshi. And then you've got the 3 little ghosts running around, do the little dungeon theme. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun.
And both of our vehicles are logoed too with OCPR on them and stuff. So
Yeah, so we'll have those in it. And then for whatever reason, parades, you can't throw damn candy anymore. I guess somebody's got it lodged upside their head and bruised or something. So now you can't do individual candy. So
Wow.
Susan and I bought ghost candy bags. So we're going to bag a bunch of candy in ghost bags and throw bags of
Hand them
ghost
out, yeah.
candy. Yeah. We'll let the kids do all of that, but that's going to be fun. And then that's all we have besides Octagon.
Wow. And Jill, how is it for you being new on a team and they have all this going on and you're just stepping right into it?
I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying.
we're dragging her along.
That's okay.
See, they're willing to drag somebody.
Well, but Jill lives in Ohio too, so
Yeah, we're a little bit separated.
we're pretty far away from Jill. I mean, Sammy lives in Paducah, so she's what are you?
I'm
3
about
hours?
4 hours for them.
4
Yeah.
hours?
Where's
Yeah.
Paducah? That's in Ohio.
Kentucky.
Oh.
I'm as far west in Kentucky as you get before you go into Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been
shit.
that way before.
Oh, well, then you should come visit. Sammy, come investigate the Air Force Base with us.
Where are you? Where at?
Where are we? I still don't know because I don't like it here.
We're in
Oh,
Champaign
Champaign.
area.
Oh, okay, yeah.
How far is that from you?
I think it's about 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, something like that. So it's about the same distance.
Isn't that like northern Illinois?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're like 3 to 4 hours, I would say, without looking at it. Yeah.
About
Yeah.
central.
Which we've got some family. We go up into northern Illinois quite a bit, so we've got some family that lives out in like Savannah and stuff.
Well, so I'm giving you a task.
Me?
No.
Oh.
Angelina. Peoria State Hospital.
We're heading there soon.
Let us know.
Oh, you want to go?
I want to go.
I
Yes.
will call tomorrow and I will get it arranged.
Okay.
It's funny because we were just not too long ago talking about that, and I said to her, let's just bring the girls from Oldham County because now they've got Jill, there's 4, and then Justin, he can be the man that he's supposed to be and protect us. Get us
Me
out.
and Shannon got that.
How am I supposed to save and protect you if I'm in leather pants and handcuffs?
All right. Me and Sammy's got the 9. We
No.
got y'all.
Yeah, they're good.
It's the hula skirt.
My
That's
boyfriend says I'm going too.
There's something else in
We
Peoria.
don't want to do a hula skirt around Susan.
There's another location in Peoria too that I've been looking at, and I don't know why I don't remember the name, but it's same time. It's a hospital, the state hospital, I think. I'll send you the information on it, but I'll definitely give them a call tomorrow. I know not the whole thing is not open. There's only certain sections.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah, it's Justin Sledgehammer. And then
It's just a suggestion.
they offer sleepover. You know, it's like, but the rooms look really creepy, so I won't even be sleeping over. I will just in the hotel room because they just, you know, it's an old place. I definitely will look it up.
Someone's not bougie, someone's basic.
Yeah, it's kind of like camping, and I ain't trying to be camping. I don't know, but it's sad that a lot of it is closed now. But I'll call tomorrow, and we'll make some arrangements. And there was somewhere else we were going to ask you to go to, and I can't remember. Oh, I'm trying to set up the Missouri State Prison.
Okay.
So we actually got offered and invited to go there later in the year. I think November. And we're probably going to go because they've asked us to come.
Losing everybody.
And I don't know why they asked us, but it's going to be paid for, so we're not going to miss that. But we would like to do that with you guys as well. So Shannon and Susan froze for the first time. There they go.
Oh,
Oh, talking about the TV and
Please stand by.
You guys were like frozen. But
And we're back.
when we first started the podcast, I was like,
I know.
so I hope that YouTube doesn't use that as its, you know, cover photo.
Now, I was gonna say, now we just moved. So there was a.
No, you guys are good. You guys have any more questions for Oldham County? Where can we find you guys on social media?
We are on Facebook and Instagram.
And I forgot to add your Instagram link because I was going to, and then you called me. But I will add it in the description here. You know what I like about you guys is you guys aren't into all that social media and posting stuff and always going live and all that. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons I love investigating with you guys, because you're just there to do what you got to do and have fun. You don't take it too seriously when you don't have to. And you guys aren't about, let me see who's going to like me and who's not going to like me. You know, like we put ourselves out there a lot, but we always get good credit for what we do because we put videos out unedited. I don't edit anything. I add captions and that's it. And I'm definitely wanting to see some of your guys' video footage. So I think you guys should start a YouTube page and get some footage on there. And you guys are a great team and you have a lot of experience between all of you. And I think you guys should share it more.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't have time. If somebody else would want to do that role, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's really hard. You know, I think if I had to delegate that, if I was on your team and I had to delegate it, I'm like Susan. I do all the camera work. I would delegate that to Susan, who is retired and divorced now and has a lot of time on her hands.
Yeah, but she don't know technology.
I can
She's
run
like-
a camera, forget the computer. All the text.
She barely knows how to run her cell phone. Yeah.
Like Jill asked me how to log on to here, and I'm like, that's why I'm at Shannon.
Well, if you guys ever need help, you can always send us footage and tell us what you want and how you want it done, and we'll do it for you and send it back. And Susan, you can always call and we can work over video chat and learn it, because you've got a lot of evidence over the years since I've known you, Shannon. I mean, a lot of evidence, and it needs to be out there. You know, it pisses me off that our ball video is so good, but we can't get it out there.
Yeah.
But if you were to have a YouTube page as well, there would be 2 people trying to get it out there. 2 teams.
That will be my goal.
For 2023?
after the parade
After the parade.
and the TV show.
Yeah.
So-
No, just kidding.
And
I know-
that's to the bottom of the list.
I know 2023 is not here yet, but what do you look forward to in 2023 as a team and as personal growth? What do you look forward to? Because a lot of people don't think you grow in the paranormal, but I learn things about myself every time I go.
Oh yeah.
So I always set goals. So what are you guys looking forward to in 2023? Is there a ghost behind you, Jill? What the hell was that?
That's my boyfriend.
Oh, you and I love you. And I'm like, hi, boyfriend. You better be good to Jill.
Oh, he's done been told. He done got told by me. Yeah.
So
Yes, he
Sammy,
did.
we'll let Sammy answer. And we'll let Jill answer first. She's not too talkative.
For next year, I know next year we're definitely planning on doing more locations. It's just this year there was a lot of transition in all of our lives. Me personally, and I thank you especially back in March when you basically forced my hand and said, hey, you need to get out. You know, after my son passed away, I was kind of at a standstill.
We're so glad you came.
Yeah, I did. I needed to get out. So I thank you all for that. You too, Shannon, Susan, Sammy, love you guys. But you're always learning, you're always growing, always. And the one thing you learn is that you don't know much. I mean, you can learn one thing somewhere and it does not apply at all at the next place, and you learn a completely different thing. So yeah, just learning and growing and gaining more experience and looking forward to more investigations as a new teammate.
What about you, Susan?
I'm just like
Learn how to use the cell phone.
I'm just trying to open myself up more and to go into more of that realm of knowledge and stuff and figuring it all out.
And learning how to do YouTube channels.
Okay, that too. Where's that list at?
Sammy?
Notes there.
I'm looking forward to getting back with these girls and being able to go out and do what we love to do, because like Jill said, this year has been a roller coaster for all of us. I know in my personal life too, it's been very hectic. And I look forward to being able to kind of hone, as Susan calls me, her ghost magnet, and kind of feel a little, like, feel more of what's going on around me and get into that a little more and kind of open myself up to learning more about that.
Shannon?
Not me. I'm not opening myself up to shit. No. What I do. I mean, we talked about this last year, but you know, things just honestly haven't been the same since COVID. Like as far as, you know, locations being shut down, you know, and then just, you know, life this year. So, I mean, where I want to take the team next year is a lot of new different places. You know, it seems like we always do Waverly Hills except for this year, which there's a reason. I look very forward to 2023 getting into Waverly Hills, if all is well, with everything going on. But I want us to go other places. I want to, you know, expand. I'd love to go to Florida. You know, I'd love to go to Illinois. You know, we do Gettysburg. You know, her and I have both been to Gettysburg, and you know that was one hell of a trip. You know, but it was worth it. So I want to expand us, you know, a lot further than just Kentucky.
You have a long bucket list.
Yeah, we do. We have a very long bucket list.
Oh, good. Well, when we hit the East Coast, we will definitely be always still calling upon you guys. Doesn't matter how far we are from you guys, we're still going to call upon you. So, speaking of, I'm not opening up to anything. No. I have one last question for you guys. Do you guys have any more questions?
I know we were talking about the TV show earlier. What is the one thing you guys think TV and movies do justice?
Ooh.
And what's like one thing that they do an injustice? So you guys say, hey, I'm on this paranormal team. And they're like, oh, so that's like the movie The Conjuring. You do like what Ed and Lorraine Warren do, right? You go and you do this exorcism stuff. What would you say that Hollywood and TV does well of saying, well, that's actually a good perspective, and then that's just complete, somebody got real creative?
I don't think Hollywood does anything good when it comes to the paranormal shows. I mean, they're just
Even the ones from like History Channel and all of those, or
those is different. Yeah, that's a different story.
so I'm just saying, like in general, from either of those, like TV does it well because they do this, and then Hollywood's complete BS because they do. So if you have any examples, if you guys have one, like that's my number one pet peeve, and that's the number one thing I love.
Gotcha. I mean, my number one pet peeve is Zach Baggins. I mean, the shit that he does, yeah, the shit that he does is just, I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Very
So,
Hollywood.
I mean, you have your, yeah, you have your TV shows, you know, like the ones like Ghost Hunters and, you know, the Ghost Brothers, the Wraith Chasers. You know, you have the ones that you know that they're just not full of shit, you know, and the stuff that happens in movies, you know, no. I mean, that stuff like that, we don't know that stuff like that happens, you know, because we've never witnessed it. But I mean, I think TV, you know, portrays paranormal better than movies. Movies is just flat out bullshit.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people with deep pockets that can make shit happen that they make a good show, but it ain't real.
Yeah.
And to me, Hollywood over elaborates. I mean, they take something that could be good and then they over elaborate it or over exaggerate it.
So if you guys had to pick one TV show to watch to make you believe in the paranormal, what would that be? What show?
Ours.
Bourbon Spirits.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bourbon Spirit.
Now I'm gonna tune into that thing, and it's about alcohol, and I'll be like, "What the hell did I get? Is this a where's the liquor?"
Yeah. Destination Fear has turned into one of my favorite shows. That one to me is fully believable. You know, to me they remind us of our team because they scream when they're scared. You know, they shit their pants when they're scared. You know, we do the same thing, and that's real TV. You know, and they just, to me, they're just as real as they come.
Yeah. I think that they're real, but my only question about them is that Baggins is the one that's money behind it.
And see, here's the thing. I loved Destination Fear. I love watching it. And we even had something at a facility happen to us that happened to them at the same facility. Same exact sound, same exact door closing and everything. And it happened to Chelsea in the basement somewhere. And then we were at a location and we learned about Destination Fear being there filming. And we learned so much that we didn't know goes on behind the scenes. And all I got to say is I kind of 50-50 with them right now. 50-50.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if you're saying you're on a road trip and you're in a RV and you're traveling all around the United States, cool. But then come to find out you're not really doing that, then I'm not believing you in any aspect of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was just things like that, you know, that we had found out. But I was disappointed when I heard that. I love Portals to Hell. I want to investigate with Jack Osborne. Not so much Katrina, but Jack Osborne. He's just, for me, he's the most realist out there that's on TV. He's quiet. He doesn't say much, but he does get some activity. And when he does, I feel his fear.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty real.
Yeah. What about you, Sam? What TV show do you like? She's like,
I don't think she's like Sam, does she?
I don't really.
Or what one do you like, even though it's not accurate?
You know, I watch them. Yeah, and I mean, I watch the TV shows. I just don't. Some of the stuff you can see, and it's so exaggerated, or their emotions are so exaggerated. It kind of turns me off for them. I'm like, okay, whatever. I think probably I actually like Netflix and Amazon. I've watched Paula and Gavin's, the Paranormal Journey into the Unknown. You know, that's how I kind of got started. I got to do the Waverly one with Shannon, and I like watching theirs. I've been around them. I know kind of what they get. And then I can't, there's one on Netflix that's come up, and I can't remember what it is, but it's like real accounts from like nurses and police officers, and it's their accounts of what's happened. And I've been watching that one, and I'm pretty interested in it. Just listening to what's happened to them.
You should go on Discovery Channel, Discovery Plus, and look up Sir No Face.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very interesting documentary about a team, I think, out in the UK that some guy went and did a documentary on, and it caught some evidence that's like the holy grail of the paranormal.
Oh, wow.
I'd be interested in seeing what you thought about that, because I actually thought the whole show was just a sham. It's called Sir No Face, and I think it might be on Netflix too and Discovery Plus.
Okay.
But check that out. Jill,
check it out.
Do you like the TV shows?
I honestly, I don't have cable. I haven't had cable for years. But when I do watch shows like that, I really did like Paranormal State when it was out years ago. I liked nothing against the new Ghost Hunters, but that's when I really started getting into it, when they first came out, you know, when TAPS came out, and then they did the international. I like the Ghost Brothers. I love some of Gavin and Paula's stuff. The Holzinger Files. I think it was Dave Schrader and Shane Pittman. I absolutely I love that show. They all bring a little bit of something to the table. Some of them a lot of did you see that? You know?
Yeah. Whoa.
No. I gotta ask if anybody does what I do. I'll put the show on. I'll get the history of the facility real quick, and then I'll fast forward to when they start investigating. Does anyone else do that, or do you watch the whole damn show?
I don't watch the whole damn show. I don't have patience for that. Yeah.
Oh, I watch it all.
I watch every bit of it.
Yeah. I try to see what's real, what could be fabricated. Was that light effect? Was that somebody standing on the other side of the wall? Yeah. You know how the paranormal investigator mind works. So yeah I watch everything.
Especially some of those shows that you get like on cable all the time, or like DirecTV, satellite, whatever. Like I'll rewind it and watch it again, or I'll rewind it and like slow motion it.
Yeah. What was that? Turn it up.
What was that? What did it say?
I did that on a TV show one time. We were watching it, and the guys were from Kentucky. And I said, "Turn up the TV. Did they just say my state wrong?" They said Massachusetts, and I said, "What the fuck is Massachusetts?"
Massachusetts.
I forgot the name of the team, but it was funny as hell. So we've been 2 hours.
You don't understand how they talk down there with that old Boomhauer accent, man. You know what they're talking about sometimes.
I told him that you guys were country, and he goes, "Oh, so they talk like Boomhauer."
We're not that bad.
No, we don't talk like Boomhauer.
Do you think we're real country?
We ain't that bad. We can understand. You can at least understand us.
Sometimes I ask Christine, I'm like, "What did Shannon say?" You know, but
I think the hardest one is Louisiana.
Louisiana.
They've got the real thick.
Especially when you get them Cajuns.
And don't come to Illinois, Shannon, and say Illinois, because they will put you in check real quick.
Yes.
Illinois.
I love accents.
Illinois.
Yeah.
That's a silent.
See, they're both from here. Don't
say this.
Yeah, there's no S. It's
S
silent.
is silent. It's just
I was like, shit, there's an S on there. I know there is.
Well, do you say Arkansas or Arkansas?
It's kind of like you can always tell
W in Arkansas
or not because of the way they pronounce Louisville.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And that's like she still says Massachusetts wrong. It's Taxachusetts.
Massachusetts when you live there, but Massachusetts, I don't understand Tusits. I don't get it. I mean, I'm Latin and I say it right. It's crazy. So we've been running for
where nobody gives two shits.
No, we don't.
Oh, that's Kentucky. Kentucky gives two shits. We do not give two shits.
See, this
I want to go to Salem in Massachusetts.
Yes.
You want to
That's
what?
on my bucket list.
Salem.
Go to Salem.
You and me
So-
both.
Yeah.
Salem's the place to go.
Salem, we're gonna be heading soon to Mass, whether to move real quick, or to take a vacation. But she's been wanting to go for the past couple of years, and we're finally gonna go. And I've been to Salem all my life growing up. I'm 50 years old. I've been there 80 million times, but I've never looked at it in a paranormal way because I was never into that till 5 years ago. So I'm super excited to go back and do the investigations there and understand the houses that I go in and I know all the history about. There's more to the history. There's now the paranormal I can investigate. So I'm super excited that we're gonna, be going up there. I wish Justin can go, but he's in graduate school right now, so his schedule is super tight, but eventually we'll get him there. But we'll be there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Be like, call us up.
Awesome.
Right. There's a lot of great places up there. So we've been 2 hours. It's been a great podcast. I love you guys so much.
We love you.
Do you guys have any events coming up or anything? Because I know sometimes you guys will have events and then you're throwing on Facebook or people won't show up and you have extra tickets or something.
No, we don't have anything planned. Typically when we go to Waverly, we'll take people. And then, so hopefully Waverly's deals will be settled next year to where we can do an event.
I hope so. I hope that all works out. It's just too much going on. What happened with, I know you had an issue not too long ago. You were a little sick and you were worried about things, but what happened to setting up Ashmore States?
Oh shit, I forgot. Hang on. I got his number. Look, I got his phone number. I at least got his phone number. I just need to call it. Chris and I had a big conversation about, we've been telling Robin we're gonna come, and we've never been there, and we put it in Shannon's hands because she's been there. Well, it's still in Shannon's hands.
Really did her head and be all right.
So don't I get a damn A for effort though? I mean, I got his damn cell phone number.
It's right there.
You're gonna call it. It's gonna be disconnected.
Probably. Or he's gonna be like, "Oh, that's that Shannon bitch." No,
sorry. The subscriber you've reached is no longer in service
because we live only an hour away from Ashmore, so there's all the possibility they can just stay here for the night, right, Justin? Have a bunch of bitches in the house, and Justin will wear his tight leather pants and his tutu, and
there you go.
It'll be that way. It's gonna be ass.
Oh, the ass chaps.
When a newly single woman, I don't do the hula skirt.
Well, guys, you guys have any more questions before we close up? We have had a great time. I can't tell you guys enough how many times I love you. Jill, next time we have you guys on, I'm going to find some of that evidence because I've got a few pieces of evidence with you from Post Town, and I'd really like to show it, especially that one we caught in Miss Johnson's room. That was amazing, and that goes through the whole video. I know obviously we can't do the whole video because it's an hour long, but that guy talks through the whole video. We look forward to investigating with you guys again soon, so maybe somebody will get up off their butt and get Ashmore set up. And I know the weekends are booked there for the rest of the year, but all that good stuff. I'm not trying to, hi, honey. He keeps scaring the shit out of me. I look behind me thinking it's Is there anything you want the viewers to know before we end the podcast? Oh, there goes her ghost.
Oh, did you see that?
Better behave.
Stop it.
Oh, it lights up.
It does.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's that little
Stitch.
I don't know what it was. I don't watch cartoons. That's funny.
But
If you guys-
honestly, y'all, we're very excited for this venture for you guys, and we do appreciate us being the first people that you asked to be on your show. It means a lot.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I hope we
Thank
did
you.
you guys justice. We're going to share the crap out of this. Normally, when we do podcasts, we're always the ones on it, so we're always sitting here sharing like crazy. So
Yeah.
we're going to share like crazy when we get off here. Thank
will.
you for being the first ones. I hope we did okay. I'll probably watch this back and be like,
Where's
I get I'll be like, Justin, easy on the hard questions, honey. Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, bring them.
Yeah.
Bring them.
That's
You
Read
did
my mind.
homework and said, I don't want to do what other people
Well-
do. So I said, okay, go hard, go home.
I do. I give
yeah.
homework to my team, and I said, you guys write down some questions that you want to ask, and you know, even if
That's not what other teams do. Don't come up with the same basic bullshit everybody else asks.
that's what I said. Let's not ask the same stupid shit, and let's make it about our guest. Let's not make it about ourselves, because you know, we've been on a lot of podcasts, and some of them are great. They're amazing because they're focused on us and not themselves.
yeah.
So that's, you know, what we're trying to bring different to the podcast is if you're going to have a podcast, don't make it about you. This is why it's not named our team name. It's named something else. You know, it's Paranormal Chatter. It's about what do the people that investigate or do in this field have to say about it, you know, and we want to set ourselves aside and be different and focus on all of you. Tonight, what I wanted to do is take our screen and make it smaller and make all you guys more forward, but I don't know how to do it yet.
Somebody was saying about technology a while ago.
Well, you know, like Shannon said, the video and the video part of this is hardest part. I think it's the hardest part for any team member. The video is crazy. There's hours upon hours of footage, you know, that you got to watch, and we're still behind. We still got Octagon Hall, 13 straight hours because we forgot the recorder in the basement. So, but there's in the first 6 or 12 minutes, we're too scared to continue because there's so much there.
Yeah.
But we just hope to make this podcast, you know, different. And we're not just going to always have paranormal investigators on. We have some people that are about conspiracy theories and like right up Justin's lane. So let's put Justin on there. Jill's clapping. So maybe
Jill, send the question.
maybe Jill can co-host with Justin on one of them shows, because I actually got someone that's going to be coming on the show, Josh and Artemis. You can find them on YouTube. Amazing. They just talk about everything. But we just want to go a little outside the box. We're going to do some shows and just bring in the fans.
Good.
And let them
Awesome.
ask, you know, and any ideas you guys have for us, let us know. We might prance around and we might all wear assless shirts one day.
Ass city bitch. Ass city bitch.
Ass
Clap,
city Well, that's a good way to end the podcast. So,
10, 20s on your titties, bitch.
oh my God. You guys, thank you so much. You guys have been great. And get Ashmore set up.
I got you. I hear you.
Hold on. Let's see. Steve might have had a question.
Need to run soon. What was the last one? What was above that?
I absolutely need to run. Love the show.
Scroll up a little bit right before that.
Oh, up here?
Something about residual energy.
Uh-oh.
There.
You guys can't leave yet. No, that's the EMF one.
No, it was down a little more, like 925.
925.
Man, we're back.
So Steve White said, great show tonight, guys. That was my last question of the night. I
Oh,
need
was
to
the
run
question.
soon. Thank you so much. Steve White loves the show. The chemistry is off the charts. Nice job. Of course it's off the charts with us, Steve. We're just freaking, you should see us when we're investigating. And oh, that must be Angelina. Her feet are slapping on the ground. You got her seeing. We have a great time with you guys. But we love you and thank you guys so much for being on the show. And
Thank you.
get your evidence out there because you guys have amazing evidence. So start putting it out there. Let people see it.
I will. I'm going to go on here real quick and put a post and like just warn them about that one, the question or back there, and just let them be prepared. Be prepared for him asking you questions because yeah, be prepared.
Be like, Justin needs to be sick tonight. No, just kidding. All right. So,
And be prepared to tell you what color underwear you're wearing too, because Christine wants to know.
Well, it was technically
Color,
socks.
what kind.
Socks.
You might wanna know what underwear.
underwear.
Oh, she
It
originally.
originally was going to be underwear, but then I was like, no, I better not ask that because Shannon might be the first one to pull her underwear out.
And then I said no. Shannon probably like, I free ball, bitch.
Well, you know,
Amando.
part of our OCPR package is we don't wear underwear. No. We all free balling.
I'm gonna put that clip on my TikTok. Oh my god. Yeah. Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth.
Yes, rest in
That's been very saddening the last couple of days. So we love you guys.
Love
And we'll
dance.
talk soon. Get on the phone with Rob and Terry and let's get to Ashmore.
Gotcha.
All right, guys. So when you guys leave, just hit exit studio. Love you. And thank you everybody for watching. Sorry we didn't get to the comments and questions, but we'll get to them once we get better at this.
Gotcha.
All right.
You guys did wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Bye.
you guys.
Bye.
Peace. Peace.